Hey guys, still here, and welcome back to Surviving Mars. It's episode 2, and in the following hour I'm going to be building out my colony a bit further, hopefully building up that new dome that I have, and with that also get a supply of underground metals and potentially underground rare metals. Before I do so, I want to let you know that I have decided to turn off advertisements through the middle of the video, so no more ads in the middle of the vid on these video content that have the calm content tag. But that of course means a slight hit to income for my channel and thus for myself. So if you could be so kind and if you like this content, then please consider becoming a patron through the link down below in the description. Now last time around, when I ended the Surviving Mars episode, Mars in Flames had come up. So let's have a look at what this is going on. Alarms follow the series of explosions throughout the colony. The ground is shaking and the people look in terror and uncertainty towards the horizon as black columns of smoke quickly rise towards the bleak skies. You don't need to look there to know what's going on. The damage and casualty report says everything. You can't shake the feeling that this is somehow related to the recent activities of your expedition team. In episode 1 we had the expedition go off onto the other seemingly abandoned colony that had some sort of nuclear silos at it. The punitive sabotage strike has destroyed 5 buildings, 10 colonists have died and 35 have been injured. I don't even have 35 colonists, I have 22 colonists, but a loss of 10 colonists is pretty painful.
A colonist has died.
Yeah, so we're down to 16 colonists. Now, with people dying, the whole mission becomes in jeopardy, because every time a colonist dies, 2 applicants leave the pool. So it's probable that my passenger pool has gone down a bit.
We gather here today.
Now, we're still in the founder stage, so this is a particularly nasty time for this situation to happen. I'll just have to work around it. In the meanwhile, we do have another 5 drones come in. That is from the expedition that I had just sent off, and apparently, while I did get, what was it, I think a breakthrough? I am paying the price for it. So that is the shadow side of trying to come up with these clever initiatives. Now, along these lines of research, what are we doing? Oh, hold on. Yeah, my apartments are destroyed, my hanging gardens are destroyed, the space bar is gone, the hydroponics farm is destroyed. They really pulled a number on me here. The infirmary's been destroyed. And at least the research lab is generating a bit of research. Speaking of, next up, resilient vegetation. It is one of those researches that will not benefit me on the short term, but on the long term it definitely will. Now the second rocket, I believe, is getting just about ready for launch. Yeah, it's going to need a bunch more fuel though. Oh, and this one's not getting any water. Right, yeah, you guys mentioned this in the comment section. I need to connect these things together, and I had neglected to do so, which means that I'm currently not sharing my water with the rest of the facilities here. I don't need this section. Because I still have these 2 water producers here, the water extractors, but they're not actually doing anything, or at least not anything very useful, because they weren't connected, and now they are. So now my second fuel refinery should be getting enough water to actually get its job done. In the meanwhile, how is my storage? Yeah, large dumping site at 206 out of 285. Set up another dumping site. Now let's switch to a different radio station. I'm currently on the official Mars channel. Let's go to the Red Frontier. Oh, that's not quite what I had in mind. There's the electrostatic dust storm. Now that's going to mean that my oxygen is going to be in trouble, especially since there is a pipe leak. The pipe leak should be getting fixed any moment now because there's a drone rushing right towards it. But in the meanwhile, that will cut into my oxygen supplies quite severely. Fortunately, this dust storm is only going to last a little over a day. But still... yeah, I'm losing 13 oxygen. Let's see, there's another leak here. That's not very helpful. Domes without life support. We don't have enough water. That's because one of my... the moisture evaporator here doesn't work. So I'll turn off the fuel refinery. And make sure that the dome has enough water. Because that is a vastly higher priority than... well, than creating fuel. I could do without fuel, but I really cannot do without more colonists.
The colonists.
Dehydration. Yes. Alright, how's my ramp progressing? The rover is still working at it. The RC dozer. We're at 74% of extracting waste rock. There's still another 204 to go. This thing is almost full. Let's just dump a bunch of resources here. Because this RC dozer is really not that picky about where it tosses over its excess waste rock. It just does that all over the place. Alright, carry on. Damn, another leak. These electrostatic dust storms are not good for my logistics. How much oxygen do I still have? 307, and I'm only drawing 1 from it, or 0.9 even. So I'm fine. I can still expand the amount of water that I'm getting, if only I had enough machine parts. So, it is going to be a priority to bring in more machine parts. That means I need fuel to send one of these rockets back to Earth.
We have a food shortage.
Ah. We have produced fuel, but I'm also starving. Sorry, we've produced food, not fuel. So, hold on, how are we starving? Oh, I haven't set up a grocer. Yeah, so there is food, but there's nowhere that my colonists can go out and get it. That's a bit of an oversight. I need a diner. And I think that should do it. This is an utmost priority, this diner. Otherwise people are going to be dying en masse. So get that diner online. Got a couple of colonists working there. And then start serving food. Quickly. At least we got the milestone for producing food. Not enough
Research
workers.
complete.
Yep. There we go.
Achieved.
That's another milestone. Research a breakthrough. So we now have resilient vegetation, halves the water and temperature requirements for grass, bushes, trees and open farm crops. Which is nice, but nothing that I'm going to be needing immediately. Next up is hull polarization, which is going to mean that buildings require maintenance less often. As for my sponsor goals, they want me to mostly focus on terraforming, since that is the sponsor. So all of these are quite a way off. I'm not likely to get anywhere near those. But I might be able to get a milestone. The next milestone would be the first Martian born, probably. Because the others are not anywhere in my reach.
Our colonists are starving.
Yes, I know that they're starving. I'm trying to fix the situation, but... there we go. Now we got at least one colonist working here. It is a geologist, so it's not quite the right type of colonist, but at this point I'll take anything. Dust storm... gone. How's my water grid doing? Water production 5, demand 4.6. Can I turn this thing back online? Demand 5.6, production 5. No, I can't. And especially if this thing malfunctions, I'm going to have a bigger issue. I cannot wait for a rocket to come back from Earth. I'm going to need a resupply drop. And that was pretty expensive. 500 million. Alright, since the dust storm is now over, I can also have this guy help out. The RC commander. And that should speed up production of the ramp a little bit more. As for sensor scans, let's queue up some more terrain. Where though? I guess just the next line here. Not this one though, because I'm not that likely to be able to get there. Let's just focus on those. And eventually I'll be able to go for deep scans as well. Storage materials, 346, 86, 27, not too bad. And my colonists are no longer starving. Their comfort level is really quite high, thanks to the hanging gardens. So I'm really hoping that very soon we're going to have our first Martian born. which is going to give me a bit more research, but also will allow me to start getting more people.
Anomaly analyzed.
The Great Lakes is ready to go back home.
There's more to the barren environs.
Micro-manufacturing and water reclamation. Water reclamation is the water reclamation system. It's handy for a farming dome because it allows you to very quickly get your water back, or at least a lot of water back. Micro-production allows me to get electronics factory online. That's a bit down the line. It's not something I want to focus on right now.
Milestone achieved.
There we go. First Martian born. The door towards the stars. A human's been born on Mars. Excellent. That means that I can now get more colonists and that I can get this colony going. It will also mean that I need more space to live. So let's go with another apartment building here. Where would I like another dome eventually? Maybe around here. So that would mean flattening this whole rock face and allowing for a dome that uses that research bonus of 20%. So all of this stuff's gonna have to go. Yeah, there could be a dome that sits somewhere over here and allows for the mining of underground metals and a research site. One rocket on its way back, the second one being refueled, the butterfly. Let's see if I can get the butterfly off on another project. These are just new techs. And Crossroads is scientists, which is going to lead to a breakthrough. I do want to go for that one. Breakthroughs can really make a big difference in this game. Alright, I now have more machine parts, which means that my water production is healthy. And I should be getting a supply of water. Yep, we're getting more water stored. Very good. 80% complete on the ramp. What I also want to be doing is, when this ramp is done, set up a few more sensor towers up here, because that's going to vastly increase my sensor speed, or my scan speed of sectors. Now the Great Lakes is almost back to Earth. Once it gets there, I want another shipment of researchers. I'm probably going to need more colonists, which can help with food production. I'm going to need probably a couple of no-specs.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found. Resources are low.
In this dome, by the way, I'll need to set up a habitable place for newborns, a nursery. And a playground. And right in the middle there, just a small garden, because I really don't have room for anything else. Once again, machine parts are running low, but so are polymers. Unfortunately. The International Mars mission will send 50 metal in exchange for 95 concrete. No, I have plenty of concrete. I don't really need to trade. So, no, that's not going to happen. Alright, second apartment building online, nursery ready, playground ready. We got the diner ready, but we're going to need more people there. There's a scientist working there? That's curious. Alright. So, passenger rocket. Let's just handpick the people that I need. I need at least 3 more scientists. Where are all the scientists at? Here's one. Let's go with 2 botanists. Oh, maybe all the scientists left. Because of that couple of deaths that happened in the colony. Alright, in that case I'm going to have to use a couple of no specialization colonists. And potentially train them up later. Or, as an alternative, use them in buildings where they're not very well suited for. Which is not really what I want. There's no scientist there, botanist, engineer, 2 more medics, a couple of unspecs, a geologist, and another geologist. Go. Okay, next phase of the operation. Connect this dome, get this operational, and that. making sure that I can start exporting stuff and get more money back. So if I want to do that, I'm going to have to connect these domes together using a passage. Oh, you have to be kidding. Ah, there, it fits. This means that the domes are going to be sharing their amount of oxygen and water and stuff. So I will have to make sure that I have enough. Oxygen's good. Water could be better. Production. Life support. Water extractor. Put that over here on the edge. Hook it up to power. And hook it up to the pipes. There's still plenty of water here. I'm not worried.
Building a new home on it.
Oh, the RC transport got hit, seemingly by a cyclone. Okay, let's send over the RC commander and have that thing fix the transport again, so the transport can continue bringing in more metal. We have to keep an eye on where that cyclone's going. That dust devil. Hold on. Let's get you away for a second. Yeah, it looks like it's about to hit the transport again. Doesn't matter much. Ah, there we go, it's clear. It cleared up. Alright, polymers. I need more polymers. Pretty quick, too. The second rocket's off on that Project Crossroads, so I should be very quickly getting more breakthroughs. Alright, it's online.
Breakthrough discovered.
Hypersensitive photovoltaics. Solar panels increased by 100%. That's excellent. That's going to be the next research, after the sponsor research is done. Alright, I'm going to open up the slot here. How many work slots do I have? Just 11. Understood. So what I'll need over here is room to work, which means a production of rare metal extractor. And the dome needs to be turned on. The dome also needs to be repaired. Let's see, what else do I need? Ideally, I would also set up a hanging gardens here, but I don't have the polymers for that. Can I build a polymer factory yet? No, I don't think I built that. No, I can. I can. If I had... Yeah, I do have just enough machine parts. I'm gonna need another shipment of colonists. First, let's bring in another supply pod with a bunch more polymers, so that I can build that spire. Hanging gardens. Then set that thing up.
Research complete.
Hull polarization complete. Excellent. It's going to save me quite a lot of research or resources in the long run. Let's bring in the new colonists. And let's bring in the butterfly again. Now I should have a bit of an excess of research, or scientists, that is. There's even one homeless? Oh, that ain't good.
New colonists have arrived.
Alright, 741 research per day. Very good. I have 9 unemployed colonists, which should change the moment that this thing becomes operational. And that the habitability section over here is done. So I'll need apartment buildings, for which I'll also need polymers. And I need more power production. Now I have a lot of metal. So if I can get a couple more solar panels built, that would probably be very helpful. Especially with keeping in mind that in the later stages, once I have those hypersensitive photovoltaics, I'll be able to get more power from those things. So let's set up a bit of a solar farm over here. And just hook everything up. Domes with no life support. This is a priority. I'll turn off some things during the nighttime that I don't strictly need. Like fuel refineries. Losing a bit of power, and I don't have anything stored. There we go. We got a couple of geologists working here. Still 9 unemployed. This thing should now be getting built, the hanging gardens, and after that, the apartments. Europe. You want to trade 50 polymers in exchange for 2100 research. I don't have anywhere near that, and my research is pretty good. I generate that in about 2.5 days. Alright, let's get the butterfly out of here, get it back to Earth. Get ready for another shipment of colonists. Over here, I want to have a couple of traverses, passage ramps, so my drones can get around. Not enough power. Solar panels are coming online. Now I do have enough power. And we should be producing, albeit slowly, our first rare metals. Now, water supply is neutral. That's because I have a maximum of stored water. There come the apartments. Let's open up the second shift. 8 unemployed, 7 unemployed. Quite a few are going to look for work and they're going to find it over here. There we go. 3.2 rare earth metals per soul produced. 4.2. And those people can now live over here. Alright, once they're living over there, I'll also need to have a bit of room where they can relax. So let's go with a spacebar. And the spacebar is... hold on, the spacebar is there for drinking, right? Relaxation, drinking, social. Because this is relaxation, social, just not drinking. Let's go with a small spacebar and see if that's enough. And also build a diner. And a grocer. So this is my food corner here. Decorations, small garden. Now this should also help with the money situation, so that the Great Lakes on its next export run can get a bit of cash. Unfortunately, we don't seem to really have enough people here yet, and power is a concern. A big concern at that. I already have it set to maximum priority, but it's still not enough. I'm gonna need more power. Alright, plan. Get more colonists. Make sure I have more polymers. So fly in a bunch of polymers from Earth. And then set up one of those polymer factories to make sure I have at least a couple of polymers coming in. With the polymers, I can then start producing my own batteries. Set the pipes here. This is going to cut into my machine parts supply. You're always lacking one thing or the other in this game. And how you handle being without that object, without that, let's say, research, colonists, object, whether it's any of the resources, that's the challenge of the game. Now this thing's almost done. Once the extraction's complete, we'll start flattening the ramp, which is going to take probably another couple of days. But then I'll have access to all of this upstairs area. I just will need to build probably another ramp over here, or flatten it so I can get to this bit. And meanwhile, just keep setting up a couple more scans.
Research complete.
Earth Mars Initiative, very good. That's going to be another flat 100 sponsor research. Alright, the next one, hypersensitive photovoltaics. Is that really what I need? Because yes, it'll give me power. But in the short run... see, something like this would also be very handy to get. Just rovers and drones moving faster. Cargo space of rockets increased would also be handy. Let's bring in a cargo rocket. A couple of polymers, a couple of machine parts. These things are always handy to have. Food, maybe a bit. I'm running low, very, very low on funding at this point. Go. We're getting a little bit of funding, but they pay me only 24 million for one of those rare metal exports. So I won't be getting rich off of it, but it might be able to. It might be enough to at least sustain the whole colony. Yeah, we're missing machine parts over here. Once this thing is fueled up, I'm going to send it back. I know that it won't be full. Not with rare metals, but I need more colonists. I need a bigger workforce. Sleeper Joe. We have learned that an upstanding member of our community has been a spy since the day they arrived on Mars. While Lucas Gustafsson was not employed by a rival colony, they did send all info stolen to a third-party intelligence gathering firm on Earth, which in turn most probably sold the information to anyone interested. A legal process on Earth will likely win us reparations from rivals who took advantage of the firm's services, but with Lucas Gustafsson being a respected and senior colonist of ours, this can have devastating effects on our colony. It's nice to get another billion in funds, but minus 35 morale for all colonists is not good, so I'm going to limit all access that they have to sensitive material and let them live out their days peacefully. Morale, for the moment, is more valuable to me. Oh, you've been damaged again, have you? Alright, let's get the thing fixed. Leveling the ramp, 27%. Nobody working here at night. Oh, nobody's living here. Aha, they're all living here. Okay. That's a bit unexpected. I thought that they might also decide to live here, especially since this is where their work is. But what I can do is force them to live here, especially the geologists. And that should get at least some people living in this dome. The comfort is 100 currently. That's not quite telling the whole story. There you go. Comfort is going down. Now we have at least 4 people working, or sorry, living here, not working. Also working. Comfort's going back up again. Sanity's good. Morale's good. We have 3 children and 2 youths. So quite a few new colonists are being produced, shall we say. This one's almost ready with the additional supplies. Uh-oh. Large wind turbine no longer performs. Ah, fuel compression done. More cargo space.
Research complete.
Not that I'll quite be able to use it, because I don't really have anything that I can buy with that. But if I at some point do have more money, I'll be able to use that technology boost.
It's a rough life here on Mars.
They're now alcoholics. Great. Welcome back. Do we still have unemployed? No. So this thing can now get built. The Great Lakes is going to travel back to Mars with additional, hopefully, engineers. And those will start staffing this facility, allowing me to build my own polymers out of water and fuel. I don't have an abundance of either. Well, water is alright, but fuel is always required to keep these rockets up. But at least I'll have no longer a massive shortage of polymers. There we go. Polymer factory complete. Not enough fuel. That should be getting delivered by the drones pretty quick.
Sector scan.
There we go.
Anomaly found.
Ah, what did you
Funding
find?
received.
A new technology breakthrough, or at least a new technology thing that I can research. The thing is, I can't quite get there yet. Alright, the rocket has returned. Filter. I want specializations of engineers and geologists. And just a bunch of no specs. No medics, geologists. And a no spec. Launch. I should have plenty of living space for all of these people. Maybe I'm gonna have to at some point move some parts across to the other dome. And I'll definitely have to look into my power issue. Oh, not there. Now that I'm getting my own polymers, I'll also be able to get a couple of batteries built and store that power that I'm generating more than I need during daytime. These are only 2 polymers and a bit of power. So let's set up a few batteries here. Might not be enough, but at least I have a bit of overflow capacity then. There, 47. Not even all of them have been built. This one's getting fueled and getting supplied with rare metals. Excellent. I'm not going to build this one yet on the ground metal supply. I don't really need it yet. For the moment I have enough, and I find this to be far more valuable. Comfort, 69. Comfort over here, 84. Very good. They do need shopping though. That might have to do with me not having set up anything, not even a grocer. So let's give these guys a grocer, so that they can actually fulfill that need to start buying stuff. I believe there are no special projects currently available that I'm really interested in. A SETI satellite is nice to have, but it's pretty expensive at 30 electronics. The high-speed comm satellite is even more expensive at 100 electronics. So as much as I would like another 400 sponsor research every single day, it's not really something that I can build anytime soon. Okay, we're building 2 per sol. And how much are we using? About 0.1. Okay, so our polymers are going up. Very good.
Research complete.
And that means that we even have a lot of residential, free work slots here. Low G drive complete. Very good. It's going to speed up the rovers. What else would be handy? Drone hub. Storages are utterly useless. These are interesting. Atomic accumulators. Huge capacity, but charges very slowly. That might stack quite nicely with the hypersensitive photovoltaics. So I generate a lot more power during daytime, and during nighttime I use the atomic accumulator to make sure that I still have enough power. Because it's now nighttime. Power production is 102, power demand is 115. Stored power is going down as planned. Good. Oh crap, I'm out of food. And I cannot get any more food either. Hello? Export? I will give you metal if somebody will give me food. Take your eye off the ball for 1 second. Or, well, a couple of days. And you're going to find that you're out of food. Thankfully, one of the colonies is very helpful and will bring in a 100 rocket or 100 food rockets in exchange for 50 metal, which I still have plenty of. Butterfly almost ready to return. Once it's going away, I'll bring in the Great Lakes. One more fuel. How are my drones doing? Oh, low usage only, so we're fine. One more fuel, and there she goes. Up and away.
Sector scanned.
These, by the way, can yield pretty nice pictures. If you really push in like this, and toggle the UI off, you can get a really nice screenshot like that. Really see how much dust is being kicked up by these launches. Fortunately, while I have one of these launch pads, it doesn't really matter, because the dust is apparently somehow contained by the launch pad and is not distributed across all the buildings that I have over here. Alright, here's the food. As soon as I load up the metal, I can take the food out. And let's bring in these colonists, because they too are carrying a bit of food with them. Ramp, 48% done leveling. And you're over here. Ooh, let's get you out of here.
New colonists have arrived.
Yeah, you better get indoors, because otherwise you're going to take for a very, very wild ride across Mars in that duster.
Dust storm approaching.
More dust storms. Lovely. Alright. Spacebar is open for business. People still need shopping, but that should be filled now, since the grocer is full. I even have 4 unemployeds. And 8 unemployed here. Alright, let's open up another shift in the polymer factory. Making sure I can keep going with more and more colonists here. Or sorry, polymers. Which I might even be able to export and get that research that I think the International Mars Mission was offering. Alright, here's the food. Excellent. 3 unemployeds. What sort of unemployed are these? Because that is quite important. A youth. A geologist is unemployed. A scientist. A botanist. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was hoping. That a botanist would be unemployed. Because a botanist is something who I can... Or somebody who I can very easily put to work. In a hydroponics farm. And then I can still have one more tile over there. Which I can use as a funnel. Or... a passage to get to the other dome. If it extends far enough. No, not bad. So it would be around here, which does cover... Yep, that's good. Excellent. So we're gonna get more food. Currently I can get wheat, grass. This is 2.5 per day. This is 3 per day. Yeah, let's go for leaf crops after. Same here.
Funding
Building not
received.
working. Oh, storage space is full. Okay. A bit of funding has been received. Excellent. Polymers are stable. Electronics look good. Machine parts are going down a bit. But it's not too serious. The International Mars Mission is offering more food. That's very kind of them, but for now I think I'm fine. What I will need more of is a dumping site. So I can really see the piles of waste rock piling up here. Look at this whole drone army charging in. Alright, we're ready? Yes, we're ready. Okay, good. RC transport. I need your attention.
Sector
You need to come over here for a second.
Anomaly found.
I want you to drop off that and turn off Auto Explorer. And then we're going to take the RC Commander and drive up here. So I'm going to build a couple more towers. I want you to Auto Explore, and I'm not sure why you're not doing it. Maybe it hasn't been made aware that the ramp has been completed. That's possible. Let's get your stuff offloaded over there. Alright, I'm gonna need a few electronics. That's 4 electronics, that's 4 sensor towers, and that should be enough. Alright, get over here. Here specifically. And let's get a sensor tower. They can already take a bit of metal from this deposit right here. There's even polymers up here. Look at how much they carved out of that mountain. That was the process that took forever, that ramp building. And I cannot really blame them with the amount of materials that they had to shift.
Analyzed.
There's more to the barren environs of the...
Not bad. Growth stimulators. Vegetation grows 40% faster. Not bad. How's power supply? Alright, I have 400 stored power. That's the maximum that these things will store. Food. I'm producing 3. Although that's not really telling the whole story. And I'm consuming 11, so I might need more help there. Sensor tower online. Next sensor tower is going to come here at the peak. RC Commander. There's transport. And the Great Lakes is ready. But there's probably a bit more that I can export. So let's keep it here for a while. And yes, I will accept your offer. Just to make sure I have a bit more food stored up. If something goes wrong, it's always nice to have food stored up.
Sector scanned.
Yes, very good. We're online. And the next one over there. So I will require the RC Commander and the RC Transport. One unemployed, one unemployed. That's not too bad. I can still open up some more work slots here, I think. Like having a night shift for the grocer, but I'm not sure if that's going to benefit anybody. 6 children, 4 youths. I immediately... Or in the meanwhile, I have 8 Martian born. Power line break. Fix that. Yeah, already got a drone on that. These guys are driving in a really close convoy. It looks like one's pushing the other. Could you kindly auto-explore again? RC Explorer? If you had enough of that. There we go. Alright, sensor tower operational. You can continue picking up your stuff. And I will take my RC commander back to base. Maybe actually clean this part up.
Resources are low.
Oh, machine parts are running a little low again. I sent the commander over here. Get this stuff cleaned up. And the RC dozer, let's just bring that back to base. We have a leak. We're venting oxygen and water. Fix that ASAP. Thank you. Power is a little bit negative, but the Dorstorm is going to last 18 hours. The wind turbines are generating more power than they normally would. And I still have enough in my batteries. Hypersensitive photovoltaics. Solar panels. Production increased by 100%. Although not in a dust storm.
More to the barren.
Atomic accumulators coming up. Oh, this one would also be very handy. Solar panels are gradually cleaned from dust when closed, resulting in less frequent maintenance. Yes. Do I have enough water to produce more fuel? Because I already turned these things off during the night. Which I think is not strictly required anymore. Export 15 out of 30. Alright. I still have a ton of habitable space here that I'm not currently using. Polymers are doing good. Machine parts, not so much. What I could do is build a machine parts factory here. I might have to fly one in from Earth. I think otherwise I cannot be asked to build it. Living space 24 out of 24, but most people are already employed here. Let's get another apartment building. How expensive is it to bring in one of those machine parts? 400 million. Unless I go for a small one, but I would like to go for a standard one. This is going to get me a bit of cash, but not enough. Once I have that facility online, the machine parts factory, and I have more colonists, I can then build my own machine parts. So that's polymers and machine parts taken care of. Fuel is already being produced, and electronics not yet. But with the exports that I have over here, if I turn those into machine or into electronics, I then can produce everything that I need. Alright, that rocket is coming in. We're still exporting 50 metal. Yeah, 50 metal for 138 food. Feels like sometimes the auto-gather doesn't quite work. Here, go gather that. 18 out of 30. 4 unemployeds. I should, if I have the room for it, which I don't really do here, I should build a school. To make sure that the children can actually learn some stuff. Schools require 6 electronics and 20 concrete. Let's get that thing going. Because I think it might be the children who currently don't have a job. And I believe that the school is weirdly classed as a job. Oh, I'm losing out on power. I need to have more power storage. How's that thing? Oh, coming along, 50%. And meanwhile, build one more battery. Have you picked up the pace yourself again, or do you still need my management? No, it still doesn't want to. Oh, that's the problem. You're unable to find a universal storage depot. Right. So if I build a universal storage depot and let the drones sort out the rest, that should work. Also, there's a lot of metal being stored left, right, and center. Let's get another depot. Metals. I could just angle all of these things. So I would have a concrete over there. And another food over here. A depot for rare metals over there, but then this thing gets in the way. Clear that out. That would also take care of all of these random piles of metals that I have looking or standing around. And fuel. Yeah, let's just do a double one as well. Export 22 out of 30. There we go. That's where all the children are. Right at school. They're going to be learning to be a survivor. They're going to be composed. And they're going to be nerds. Survivors lose less health without food. Composed means that all sanity losses are halved. And nerds gain a temporary morale boost every time a new technology is researched. Enthusiast might also be an interesting perk. Increased performance when at high morale. So instead of going with composed,
select a
let's go with
sector to
enthusiast.
scan.
Ah, scans are done. Carry on. You should now be able... Oh, no, snap, I still didn't have a universal depot. Ah, more planetary anomalies. Come on. You should really be able to find a universal depot now. Just drop off everything there. Let the drones sort it out. And then see if we can find some stuff. In the meanwhile, the planetary anomalies do have my attention. What are these? Atoll, new techs, cavalcade, research progress, breakthrough, resources, and more resources. I have a lot of expeditions to go on. Let's get another fuel refinery operational, because I'll probably need a bit more fuel production.
Breakthrough
Extend
discovered.
pipes. What do we get? Core metals. Uncovers extremely rich underground metal deposits. Don't mind if I do. Holy shit, look at that. 155 power is what we're positive during daytime.
Research complete.
And there's the accumulator. Good. I'm going to set this thing up somewhere else to make sure that if the batteries somehow get struck, not everything is going to go up in flames. So let's put that over here. No deposit here. Okay, let's remove that concrete extractor. I have plenty of concrete, so I'm not worried about this. And there we go. The RC transport is now once again automatically going for the resources. No more research to be done here. Okay. We are definitely making progress. Accumulator done. This thing can store 2,000 power. Output 100, and it's charging at a rate of 50. So as they say, it doesn't charge very quickly, but it is able to decharge quite a bit more. At 2.5 what one of these things can decharge. They're still offering more foods. No, I'm going to pass on that. I think I have enough food. Colonists 73, 14 Martian-born, 59 Earth-born. 1 graduate from the school. Comfort levels 88. They still want more shopping, drinking, dining, and dining. So maybe I should have the diner work 24/7, and same for the spacebar. Although there's not a lot of people inside right now, but that might be because they're all sleeping. Next research, dust repulsion. Once that is done, what's the next one? More applicants? I don't really need more applicants at the moment. Martian University. That could be good, but it's pretty expensive. Let's go for self-sufficiency first. Electronics factory. Because that's the mistake, or well, one of the many mistakes that I made previous playthrough. I didn't set my game up for self-sufficiency, and I was constantly importing stuff left, right, and center from Earth. Uh-oh, no more machine parts. Is the research for machine parts anywhere earlier up the tree? It is not. No, it is not. Okay, so I'm still looking at more exports. Bring in a machine parts factory. Get more people living in this dome. And set up the machine parts factory. Start building machine parts from metal. And check that box for self-sufficiency. 1 more piece of rare metal is required. I think... No, that's just waste rock. Oh, they're taking the waste rock all the way from over here to here. No wonder they're filling up that quick. Good to go. Great Lakes, back to Earth. 2200 research for 50 electronics. Tempting, but I don't have 50 electronics. So I'd love to, but no joy. No, I do have plenty of polymer stored, so this machine or this factory not being operational doesn't really bother me at the moment. What do you have coming in? Just 5 metal? That's the best that you could do. Huh. Well, we got no shortage of metal, nor concrete. What I do want to do is flatten out this ground again. So just flatten that, and now I have additional, let's say, construction space there. And since my dozer isn't actively doing anything, let's start working on flattening this bit. Let's get rid of that mountain ridge, so eventually I'll be able to get enough space to build another dome there. That should keep him busy for a while. That's 1500 near enough excess rock. I will set it up as a low priority so that not all of my drones are going to be swarming that place. But they might if they're not busy. In which case, they will very, very quickly fill up all that storage. Oh, not there. All of this waste rock sometime in the future will be useful, so I don't mind having a big dumping site over here. Excess waste rock, 1500 out of 1400? Okay. I suppose it has to be removed from it, not delivered to it, because this is one big ridge line, so I'm not trying to level up the terrain, I'm trying to break it down. Oh crap, I got more malfunctions here. Alright, this thing's almost home. When it is, it's going to get me a bit of funding. With that funding, I'll buy the machine parts factory and a couple of machine parts so I can keep the thing going. And 94, 95, 96. Getting there. Scans are almost complete.
Funding received.
720. Perfect. Cargo rocket. Prefab buildings. Machine parts. And just bring a couple of machine parts with and some more drones. Launch. As for the other rocket, I can immediately bring that in as well. And that's going to be mostly engineers, if I can find them. Engineers and, well, no specs, I guess. Maybe a few botanists. Go. Because then I have a workforce for that new factory. Ah. I don't have enough machine parts for the fuel refinery. Fuel definitely is ramping up quick. But I'll probably be burning through that pretty damn fast when I'm going on all of those different planetary expeditions that I have scheduled. Where's the RC commander? Ah, good. They cleaned up all the stuff from the ramp. This one was redundant. I believe an RC commander was required for one of those expeditions. Turn this into a standard landing pad again. I also need an RC Explorer for one of the missions. Dust repulsion done, which means that these things will slowly self-clean. So this bar, if I'm not mistaken, should be going back. It should be going down. Although I'm not seeing it. Alright, power generation 132. We still have stored power. The power accumulator sitting at a comfortable 1200. Not bad. Whoa, these guys work quickly. Really quickly. Look at that. They just flattened the whole area in a day? Really didn't take them long. Leveling the ground, 73, 80, done. Okay, that was really fast. Well done to the drones. Let's get rid of these rocks here. Should be just a bit of clearing the site. Nothing too serious. 5%, 11%, yeah, that's going to be done in no time. More and more machines are coming offline with a complete lack of machine parts. Including, and that's more desperate, water. Fortunately, these supplies are coming in right about now. When that is done, when it's landed, I'll get a production here. There. Build that. Then land the colonists here. This will require a fair amount of power, probably. So I might need to set up another power accumulator, because I don't know if I have enough power during the night.
Milestone achieved.
Good.
New
100 colonists.
have arrived. Resources
Nice.
are low.
And I can get people to work here, which is going to produce a predicted 7 machine parts per soul. And I still have 7 unemployed. I can have the grocer open 24/7. I don't really know what else to have open. Maybe just another farm here. Make sure I keep producing enough food. 11 unemployeds. 4 here. 6 there. 9 unemployed, 10 unemployed. This should be built very quick. I'm intentionally not using the 3rd work shift, because working nights is generally not very good. Workers will lose sanity if they work during night shifts. And I do like them to stay pretty sane. Alright, rockets are ready. Let's get these guys going on expeditions. That's the Explorer. And what else do we have? Any, and that will get me resources. So I need 7 volunteers, and we're gonna go off on the expedition. Oh, this one was already working on exports. Right. Colonists available, and off we go. So far, I'd say that the colony is doing really well. Progress is going quite gradually. We are a little low on water, but that was to be expected with these things temporarily being offline. Power supply looks pretty solid. I'm producing my own machine parts at the moment, although the first shift hasn't been completed, so I'm not surprised that I'm not actually seeing the results here yet. But I'm producing 7.8 and I'm only taking 2.1, which means that soon enough I'll have plenty of machine parts and I can go on potentially one of the missions that is going to capture an ice meteor, which will bring up the water supply just a bit. Anyway, all of that and more in the future episode. For now, I thank you for watching. Again, if you have a few bucks to spare and you want to support my channel, then I would really appreciate Patreon support. Link for that down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found it entertaining and relaxing, and I shall see you next week for the next episode.